Most people think the bank is the safest place for their money. After all, it's where your paycheck lands, where you save for emergencies, and where your security supposedly sits. But what if I told you that keeping too much cash in the bank might be one of the riskiest financial decisions you can make? Here's why. Your money doesn't actually sit there waiting for you. The bank lends most of it out. That means your cash is quietly losing value every single day. And if you think your bank balance guarantees safety, remember that even banks can fail. We've seen it happen, from the 2008 financial crisis to the recent collapses that sent shockwaves through the system. Yet millions still cling to the illusion that cash in the bank equals security. So if not the bank, then where? What are the assets that not only protect your wealth, but actually grow it over time? In this video, we'll uncover 7 assets that are safer than cash. Assets that don't just sit still while inflation eats away at your savings. If you're ready to make your money work for you instead of watching it shrink, stick around. And now let's start with one of the most underrated assets that even billionaires trust with their wealth. When people hear safer than cash, their minds jump straight to real estate or gold. But before any of that, there's something far more accessible and often overlooked: government treasury securities. Think of them as a way to lend your money to the government in exchange for a guaranteed return. When you buy US Treasury bills, notes, or bonds, you're essentially saying, "Here, use my money for a while and pay me back with interest." It's backed by the full faith of the US government, which historically has never defaulted on its debt. Here's why this matters. While your bank might pay you 0.1% interest, a short-term treasury bill could pay you 4 to 5% annually. That's dozens of times higher, without the same exposure to bank instability. And here's the kicker. Your treasury investment doesn't depend on your bank surviving. It's stored directly with the government, or a brokerage, separate from the commercial banking system. Even if your bank collapses tomorrow, your treasuries remain yours. Treasuries can act as your shield against inflation and uncertainty, a calm harbor while the financial world storms outside. But treasuries aren't the only way to protect and grow your wealth safely. In fact, the next asset on our list gives you something far more tangible, something you can see, touch, and even live inside. If there's one asset that has built more millionaires than any other, it's real estate. Not just any property, but income-producing real estate. Homes, apartments, or commercial spaces that generate steady rent. Here's why it's safer than keeping cash in the bank. Cash loses purchasing power every year, while real estate tends to rise in value with inflation. When prices of goods and services go up, the value of property and rent usually goes up too. So instead of inflation draining your wealth, your property moves with it. You can see it, improve it, and use it. Even in uncertain times, a property that provides housing or workspace will rarely go out of demand. People always need a place to live. Plus, there's leverage. You can borrow money to buy real estate, and the tenant effectively pays off your loan over time. It's like having a silent partner, someone else's rent covering your investment. And when the loan is paid off, you own a full value asset that keeps generating passive income. But the key is to buy smart. Focus on location, long-term demand, and cash flow. Don't gamble on quick flips or overheated markets. Real estate is slow money, but it's stable money. When your cash is sitting idle in a bank, it's quietly shrinking. But when it's in a well-chosen property, it's working, earning rent, gaining equity, and protecting you from inflation. Still, real estate isn't the only tangible asset that holds its ground. Some investors go even deeper, literally, to a kind of asset that doesn't wear out, doesn't need management, and never disappears. Before there were banks, before there were stocks, there was land. For centuries, owning land was the ultimate symbol of power and security. And even today, that hasn't changed. Here's the truth. Land isn't just dirt. It's a finite resource. Governments can print more money, but no one can print more land. And that scarcity alone gives it lasting value. Raw land, farmland, or development plots all share one thing. They appreciate over time, especially as population and demand for space increase. It's one of the few assets that naturally keeps up with inflation.
Let's take farmland, for example. It not only holds value, but also produces income through crops or leasing. Many wealthy families quietly store a portion of their wealth in agricultural land for this reason. It's productive, tangible, and recession-resistant. Even raw land on the outskirts of growing cities can be a gold mine. As urban areas expand, that empty land suddenly becomes prime real estate for developers, driving its value through the roof. Of course, land ownership comes with patience. It doesn't generate instant returns like stocks or bonds, but for long-term wealth preservation, it's one of the safest, most stable stores of value you can own. When the economy shifts, the land stays. When currencies weaken, the land still stands. It doesn't vanish overnight or depend on a company's quarterly report. It's timeless wealth, quiet, patient, and powerful. And while land is the oldest form of wealth, the next asset on our list has stood beside it for thousands of years, protecting fortunes, empires, and ordinary people alike when paper money failed. When people lose trust in paper money or banks, they run to one thing: gold. It's been a store of value for over 5,000 years. Empires have collapsed, currencies have vanished, but gold has never gone to zero. No bank account can match. Gold and silver act as a hedge against chaos. When inflation rises, the value of these metals often follows. When stock markets crash or banks struggle, investors pour into metals for protection. It's not about making fast profits. It's about keeping your wealth real when everything else feels uncertain. The beauty of gold is that it's universally recognized. You can take it anywhere in the world and people will understand its value. It's portable, durable, and nobody has to guarantee it for it to be worth something.
Silver, on the other hand, is more affordable and has industrial uses, making it both a monetary and a practical metal. That means demand often stays strong even when the economy shifts. There are safer, more convenient ways, like gold ETFs or allocated vault storage, that give you the same protection without the risk of loss or theft. Precious metals don't pay interest or dividends, but they don't erode in value the way paper cash does. They've been trusted through wars, crises, and economic meltdowns. So while your cash loses strength in a bank, your gold quietly keeps its power. But not all safety comes from shiny metal. Some of the world's safest and most profitable assets are hidden in plain sight, in the form of businesses that pay you to own them.
When you deposit money in the bank turns around and lends it to businesses at a higher rate. You earn 1%, they earn 10%. Now imagine skipping the middleman and owning the businesses directly. That's what dividend-paying stocks allow you to do. When you buy shares of reliable, well-managed companies, you're not gambling. You're becoming a part owner. These companies produce goods, earn profits, and pay a portion of those profits back to you in dividends. Most of these companies raise their payouts over time. Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, and Procter & Gamble have all increased their dividends for decades. That means your income keeps up with inflation, while your cash in the bank never will. Unlike speculative stocks that depend on hype, dividend-paying companies usually operate in essential industries: food, healthcare, energy, utilities. The stuff people can't live without. Even during downturns, they keep making money and rewarding shareholders. History shows that high-quality dividend stocks outperform cash and even bonds over the long term. They provide income, growth, and inflation protection, all in one. So instead of letting your money sit quietly while banks use it, let your money own the banks and the companies that keep the world running. And if you found value so far, take a moment to like this video and subscribe, because the next two assets might surprise you. They're less talked about, but powerful wealth protectors in their own right. While most people limit their investments to what they can see on a brokerage app, the wealthy often play a different game. They put part of their wealth into alternative assets, investments that move independently of the stock market or the banking system. We're talking about collectibles, private businesses, farmland, art, fine wine, and even vintage watches. They often hold or grow value regardless of what happens to cash or banks. Farmland quietly earns money through crop yield and land appreciation. Even in recessions, people need food. High-end collectibles tend to rise in value over time because of scarcity. There are only so many original Rolex Daytonas or vintage Ferraris in the world.
Private businesses are another hidden gem.
They may not trade on the stock exchange, but a small stake in a thriving private company can produce consistent profits and freedom from Wall Street's daily roller coaster. And let's not forget art. It's not just decoration. It's history, scarcity, and emotion combined into one tangible piece of value. During inflationary periods, fine art often appreciates as investors seek physical stores of wealth that can't be devalued by central banks printing more money. Alternative assets aren't for everyone, and they do require knowledge, patience, and due diligence. But the core idea is simple. Diversify outside the system. Don't let every dollar you own live and die within the banking structure. Still, even if you're not ready to buy land or paintings, there's one more asset that combines safety, liquidity, and steady returns. Something that gives you more control than a savings account ever could.
If you've been searching for a low-risk place to park your cash without leaving it in a bank, stable value funds and money market accounts could be the answer. These are designed to offer the stability of cash with slightly higher returns and much stronger protection from inflation. Stable value funds are often found in retirement plans. They invest in a mix of high-grade bonds and insurance contracts that aim to preserve your principal while providing steady interest. Think of them as enhanced savings accounts, managed by large institutions with strict safety measures. Money market funds invest in very short-term, low-risk securities, like treasury bills and commercial paper. They give you easy access to your funds while paying a yield that's often multiple times higher than a typical bank account.
Both options are considered cash equivalents, but with better returns and less exposure to a single bank's risk. The main advantage is control. You can move your money in and out freely, diversify across institutions, and still keep your liquidity. In times of uncertainty, many investors use these vehicles as temporary safe harbors, earning while waiting for better opportunities. They don't promise high returns, but they protect your wealth while it rests. But the bigger lesson isn't just about choosing the right asset. It's about understanding the system your money lives in. And that brings us to one final crucial realization.
Keeping your cash in the bank might feel safe, but it's often an illusion. Inflation quietly eats away at its value. Interest rates rarely keep up, and the bank itself is lending your money out while you earn next to nothing. The real risk isn't losing your money overnight, it's losing its purchasing power over time. The wealthy have always known this. They don't hoard cash, they move it into assets that protect, multiply, and outlive paper currency. From treasury securities to real estate, gold, dividend-paying stocks, alternative assets, and stable value funds, each one offers a way to make your money work harder than it ever could sitting in a savings account. But diversification is key. No single asset is perfect, and no investment is truly risk-free. The real safety lies in spreading your wealth across different types of value, so that no matter what happens in the economy, a part of your portfolio is always standing strong.
So before you scroll away or check your balance again, ask yourself, is my money really safe? Or is it quietly disappearing, dollar by dollar, while I pretend it's protected? The smartest move isn't to fear banks, it's to understand their limits and use them wisely. Keep enough cash for emergencies, but let the rest serve you. Build a system where every dollar has a job, where every investment brings purpose, and where your wealth grows even while you sleep. If this video opened your eyes, don't keep it to yourself. Like, subscribe, and share it with someone who still believes their cash is safest sitting still. The truth is, the safest money is the one that never stops moving.